In our last video, we had sanded the fins. I rounded off all the fins. Now it's time to glue them onto the tube. The larger of the two fins is the Y fin. The smaller one is the X fin. And they're going to be at right angles to each other. So to glue them on, get your glue. Put a bead of glue, and I want just a very thin bead of glue. So that's like way too much glue. I'm going to take like 90% of that off. Just want a thin film because I want it to dry pretty fast. You know, the thicker that glue, the longer it's going to take to dry. All right, so here's a Y fin. I'm going to stick the back end of the fin on the tube and then walk it down. So just the back is touching, and then I'm walking down the front along the line. And I'm going to press it on hard. And if you do it right, it should stay on. Now you don't want to hang it like this because the gravity wants to pull it down. So you want to keep it vertical. I'm also, if you have one of these fin alignment guides, these are nice and handy to have. So this is a 4-fin for a BT60. And I'm not going to be able to get it on the whole fin, but I can capture up to that part of the fin right there. And that will hold it in place while I'm doing the other fins. So same process as before. Trying to put on less glue this time. So when I smear it around. And this is a Y fin, or an X fin. Oh, I didn't mark the tube right there. So it's really handy to have this fin alignment jig. Just a thin film of glue. Okay. And here's the final one. This shot cord, you can pass it back through the rocket at this point if your engine mount is dry, just to get it out of the way. Didn't come out yet. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to allow that to dry. I want that nice and dry before I put my fillets on, because I don't want to add wet glue to wet glue, because that's just going to make the glue underneath wet again and make it floppy and make it fall off. So let that dry at least a good 15 minutes. So let's see if I can go on to something else while I'm waiting for that to dry. So step 17 is to do the glue these onto the tube, but with that fin alignment jig on here, I can't do that. So I got to skip that part. So I'm going to skip all the way over from 17 and 18 to step number 19. And I want the two piston frame rings from the 1/8 inch plywood. Okay, so that is on this piece of wood, part number 15489. That's part number R and Q. and this is plywood. And if you look on the back, you can actually see where those little tick marks are. Okay, so these are going to be glued together like this. But before I do that, I want to get also the part number S. That's this part right here, the disc with the cross on it. Okay, because I want to have that ready so that when I put it together, I can make sure that these pieces are at right angles. I noticed that I have a prototype kit here, and my piece S is missing some little notches, and I can see that they were drawn on there. So actually, I need to get the right piece S because I want to have the same one that you have. Everything else is the same as far as I can tell on here. So I'm going to pause here, and by the time I do that, this was probably going to be dry. So I may just come back to here in just a second. So I'll go to the next video. We'll just continue on.